Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most profound and relatable stories in ancient literature, the story of Job. Specifically, we're going to explore chapters 3 and 4, which mark a dramatic shift in the narrative. If you recall, Job has just lost everything: his children, his wealth, his health. He's been sitting in silence for 7 days with his 3 friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. And then, in chapter 3, the silence is broken. Job finally speaks, and what he says is raw, and it is real. He doesn't curse God, which is what Satan predicted he would do. Instead, he curses the day he was born. He cries out, "Let the day perish on which I was born, and the night that said a man is conceived." This is the cry of a man in absolute agony, someone who wishes he had never existed rather than endure such immense suffering. Think about that for a moment. This isn't just sadness, it's a deep, existential despair. Job questions the very purpose of life when it's filled with so much pain. He asks, why is light given to him who is in misery, and life to the bitter in soul? He feels trapped, with no way out. His words are heavy, filled with images of darkness and a longing for the peace of the grave. It's a powerful and honest portrayal of what it feels like to be at rock bottom. Many of us, in our darkest moments, might have felt a shadow of this same despair, this same questioning of why me. Job's lament gives voice to that profound human experience of suffering. Then, in chapter 4, one of his friends, Eliphaz the Temanite, decides to respond. Now, Eliphaz starts off pretty gently. He says, "If one ventures a word with you, will you be weary? Yet who can keep from speaking?" He acknowledges Job's pain but then shifts his tone. He basically reminds Job of all the times Job had encouraged others. He says, "Behold, you have instructed many, and you have strengthened the weak hands." It's like he's saying, "Come on, Job, you're the guy who always has it together. You've helped so many people through their troubles. Why can't you take your own advice now?" Eliphaz then introduces his main argument, which is a common belief at the time, that righteous people don't suffer. He asks, "Think now who that was innocent ever perished? Or where were the upright cut off?" According to Eliphaz's logic, if you are suffering, you must have done something wrong to deserve it. He believes that God is just and therefore only punishes the wicked. This is the classic "you reap what you sow" theology. To back up his point, Eliphaz shares a mysterious, supernatural experience he had. He describes a spirit gliding past his face in the dead of night, a voice whispering a chilling question. Can mortal man be in the right before God? Can a man be pure before his Maker? The message he received was that humans are flawed and fragile, and no one is truly blameless before God. So, from his perspective, Job's suffering must be a form of divine correction for some hidden sin. And here's where the real tension begins. Eliphaz means well, he really does. He's trying to offer an explanation, a neat and tidy answer to Job's chaotic pain. But his logic, while seemingly sound on the surface, completely misses the mark. He applies a general principle to a specific, deeply personal tragedy, and in doing so, he invalidates Job's experience. He's offering theology, when what Job really needs is empathy. He's trying to solve a problem instead of just sitting with his friend in his pain. These 2 chapters set the stage for the entire debate that follows. We have Job's raw, unfiltered cry of anguish on one side, and on the other, the beginning of his friend's attempts to explain his suffering with simple, black-and-white answers. It raises huge questions for all of us. How do we respond to friends who are hurting? Do we jump in with easy answers and advice, or do we simply offer our presence and support? And how do we ourselves process suffering when it feels meaningless and overwhelming? The story of Job doesn't give us easy answers, but it gives us the space to ask these hard questions. Join us next time as we continue to explore the dialogue between Job and his friends. It gets even more intense from here. Thanks so much for watching. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. We'll see you in the next video.